Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Once again, it's Rich, and Oilers preseason starting right away. As of this recording, the Oilers will play Winnipeg Jets in their first preseason game, so looking forward to that. On today's episode, we are going to be talking about some holes on the Oilers, specifically in the back end, and what they got to do to rectify that. Some new rules coming into the NHL, as well our favorite mascot, Hunter. So stick around. Welcome back to another episode of Frozen Oil, and we are just over 2 weeks away for puck drop to get this regular season going for the Edmonton Oilers. Can't wait, looking forward to that. Patrick Kane, he has been obviously completed his surgeries. We all knew he was going to take some time off, so he's going to be recovering from those injuries that he had surgery for, and wish him the best of luck with that. So probably going to free up some money there on the cap, so we'll see how that goes. So when the season began, or when the off season began, which was as short as it can be for the Oilers without bringing home a Stanley Cup. But, after the July 1st, if you watch this channel, I was on cloud nine with, all the signings that happened and all the moves the Oilers made. And then, obviously the double offer sheet occurred, and now things are different. And unfortunately for me, I don't know what you guys think, but I feel there's definitely going to be some weakness on the back end for the Oilers. Obviously, with having Broberg in the lineup would have been different, but for me, I feel there's two issues with the Oilers going into this season. Now, this isn't the season preview video, but at the same time, I just wanted to mention, they gotta figure out what they're gonna do on the back end, and this Ty Emberson that's come in. Hopefully he's gonna be our second pairing right D-man, but if not, he's gonna drop down to our third pairing right D-man. But there's still a hole on the right side for sure, and for me, the biggest thing is obviously Evan Bouchard. If Evan Bouchard continues to play how he played in the playoffs last year and continues to pick up his game, which it's hard to pick it up more than the playoffs last year, but if he's putting in over 20-25 minutes a night, and he can play defensive hockey, not just offensive hockey, I think that's going to take a lot of pressure off whoever's filling in there on the back end. So, for me, I think the biggest thing is not just who we're going to be bringing in on the right side, but how well is Evan Bouchard going to play as the first pairing right D-man. So, saw an interview of him. He looks like he's in great shape, and looks like he's put on some more muscle, which obviously is going to help on the defensive side of things. I don't know how much more you can improve his offensive game. So best of luck to Big Boosh. Hopefully we can get him signed to a long-term contract. And then the other thing for me is tremendous amount of pressure again on Stuart Skinner. Everything that we've done, again, falls on our goaltender, Stuart Skinner. And, if there is an Achilles heel for the Oilers, it's in net. If Stuart Skinner can't continue his play, we have no other option in net. So that's going to be interesting to see how that plays out. I'm 99% comfortable with Stuart Skinner. Like I said, and I've been saying on multiple videos, he's our guy, and we got to believe in him, and we do believe in him. But there's always that little touch of doubt After 4 consecutive, Stanley Cup final elimination games, I should have zero doubt. But like I said, he's got to have an unbelievable regular season because he doesn't have the defensive depth in front of him that he had before. So I think for me, number one is goaltending has to be primo in net, and we got to fill a hole, which probably isn't going to happen until the trade deadline, but fill some holes on D, specifically on the right side. So, today's episode, I mentioned at the top, there are some NHL rule changes that are coming into the game, and number one, there's a delay of game penalty challenge. So, you can challenge a delay of game. So, if your defenseman shoots it over the boards, or your goaltender shoots it over the boards in the defensive zone and the puck goes out, if you feel that it touched another player or a player's stick, or it touched the top of the glass on its way out, you can actually challenge that call now, which you couldn't do before. So that's going to be cool. The thing is if you challenge and you get it wrong, not only are you getting that penalty, but you're going to be getting an additional penalty. So you're going to go down 2 men. So you got to be careful when you're making that challenge. Sitting on the boards, they're taking it out. It's an unsportsmanlike penalty if you do that. Another one is if your goaltender is injured, they are going to allot a little bit of time for a warm-up for the goalie that's coming in. So those are some new changes that are coming into the game as far as the rules go and stuff like that. But the biggest one for me is there is now a completely different face-off procedure that's going on. So if you go into a face-off and you get a warning on that face-off, sometimes they'll kick you out, but now they're not going to kick you out. So if you get a warning and they have to redo the face-off, and sometimes they'll give you a second warning or a third warning, they'll kick you out, bring another player in. Now they're not going to kick you out. They're going to give you that one warning, and if you go back in and the referee feels you did something incorrect, you're going to get a penalty, a bench minor penalty. So that's massive. We've all seen Draisaitl get kicked out of so many face-offs. That's a huge part of his game, and it's a huge part of the game. Like winning face-offs, the more face-offs you win, usually you'll go on to win the game because it just means more puck possession. So that's a huge thing that's coming into the league. I don't know if you guys are aware of it, but let me know what you think in the comments. I think it's massive. I think it's going to add probably an extra penalty, maybe 2 penalties per game, which could work for the Oilers with their awesome power play and all their offensive firepower, but it can also work against your team. Like I said, if you're not careful in the face-off circle, there will be penalties handed out, which is massive, and not too many people are talking about it. So that's news out of the NHL. Just wanted to go over that. And then lastly, I don't know. Hunter is my favorite mascot in the NHL, and when he first came to the league, there was a lot of questions as to when he came into the league. Because of his look, he looked terrifying. He looked like he had anaconda eyes, and he was a terrifying face. And I know that recently, maybe last year, they did change his eyes and they made them a little nicer. But man, that costume, or whatever you want to call it, for Hunter, that head is just terrifying. So at first, everyone's like, what is this? But after a while, you grow to like it, and it's different. It's different from all the other mascots. Maybe Gritty is up there. Obviously, he's widely considered number one, but I think Hunter's up there for his look. He's definitely unique. They did soften his eyes. I didn't like that. I liked that look of his before. But the Edmonton Oilers, I mean, I don't know who's in charge of their social media stuff, but they did release a video, and I just want to go over this video. So you can find this. The Edmonton Oilers released this, so I found this hilarious. So we're gonna play this video here now. As you can see here, we have Hunter going to the zoo here, and I mean, this guy is terrifying. You know, I mean, look at that face. And he's going and visiting the lynx animals in the in the zoo. And I mean, I don't know how this relates to hockey. They're, you know, they're obviously trying to, you know, promote the Valley Zoo. I mean, I haven't been to the Valley Zoo in ages. I feel they got a lot of work to do over there in comparison to, for example, Calgary Zoo, which is unreal. But I wanted to check this video out because the interactions with the animals and this guy in a hunter costume at the zoo is just freaking hilarious. You gotta look at this. So look at this lynx looking at this thing, wondering what is going on. So I mean, if a wild animal is still afraid of this mascot that we have, I mean, we're doing something right. So here he is getting interviewed. That's Jessica. Look at this, guys. This look at the lynx is scared of him. He won't come towards him. And there's another animal that's just terrified. There's a fox that's like, what on earth is this thing? And the tiger doesn't want to mess around. This tiger's coming for him. I mean, if that glass wasn't there, this tiger is gonna maul him. The monkey is absolutely terrified here, or whatever that is. I mean, look at this. This is freaking hilarious. I mean, I remember, I don't know if you guys remember all the memes that came out when, you know, they first unveiled Hunter as the official Oilers mascot, and they'd have, you know, like children terrified of him and all that. And, you know, it's just hilarious. But I just wanted to bring up this video because it's freaking hilarious how funny that is, that these wild animals are terrified of him. Yeah, just wanted to mention that. So that's gonna do it for today's video. Wanted to leave today's video hopefully with a smile on your face, because that Hunter video at the zoo just cracked me up. But that's gonna be it for today's video. If you haven't subscribed, please consider subscribing. We do want to get to 500 subscribers before the beginning of the season, so we're on our way there. So please consider subscribing. We are also on Twitter/X. Our handle is @FrozenOilHockey. And that's it for today. And most importantly, go Oilers, go!
Frozen Oil Hockey, the channel you need. Oilers on the ice, unstoppable speed. Chasing the cup, we're gonna succeed.